Hello, and welcome back to Practicing Photography. My name is Doug Gabbard. Today's topic is never lose images with 3 copies. I've heard others talk about 3 copies, and mine's just a little bit different. One of their ideas on the other version is to have different media, meaning DVDs or some other type of media. Well, today's technology, hard drives are relatively cheap. Photos sizes, the file sizes on photos are huge, so putting it on a DVD is really not feasible if you've got a lot of photos. So my 3 methods is a local drive, which is inside your computer. The second one would be an external drive that you connect to it to make backups. And the third one is offsite in a cloud, preferably. You could use offsite at your family, your brother, your sister, your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, something like that. But there are some difficulties in that. So I really don't even consider that method because you have to go grab the drive and swap it out for a new drive. So there are methods to do that, but it's very manual and will be prone to not being completed. So let's talk about each of those 3 methods. So the local drives, there's definitely some benefits. One of the best benefits, it's local to your computer, it's there, it's fast, and it's convenient. Some disadvantages, you'll be limited in space. If you only have 1 drive, your operating system is there, your documents that you work on, your browsing history, files that are stored there, it's going to take up a lot of space. Your local computer hard drive also has heavy use. It's used every time you turn it on, whether you're using it for photography or not. So it's going to be more prone to failure than another drive, or maybe even corruption. Another disadvantage is it's only available to that local computer unless you're a computer geek and know how to connect to it. But for the most part, let's just call it only available to the local computer. The next one, hard to expand. If you run out of space, it's not easy for most places, for most users, especially on a laptop, to add an additional drive internally. It's also susceptible to natural disasters, water, fire, drop, damage, and what I didn't even put on there is theft. If you travel and you go through an airport and you're leaving your laptop in your car when you go to restaurants and things like that, you have a very good chance of losing it. So the second option, or the second idea, the second place is to put it on a local drive. And what I mean by local drive is external to your computer. So the benefits, it's local to your house, it's on your shelf, it's fast, it's relatively convenient. Space is usually not an issue because that is easy to expand by just buying a second drive or a third drive or however many you need, or a larger drive. Disadvantages, easy to misplace. I've learned to label mine so that I can find them. For a long time I didn't label them. I'd have to plug the drive in. No, this is not the right one because they all look alike to me. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're very different, but if you buy all the same kind, then you better be labeling them. Disadvantages, like I said, easy to misplace. It's also in the same place as your local drive, so susceptibility to water, fire, drop, and damage again. So if it's next to your computer and there's a small fire there, or there's a water leak, and it's going to be susceptible to the same damage as your laptop if it's sitting right next to it. So offsite benefits, available anywhere with an internet connection. So if your mom and dad's, brothers, sisters, library, whatever, on your phone, you can likely have access to the photos. It's not stored close to home copies, so it's not going to be susceptible to the disasters that we talked about. Space is typically not an issue, other than you may have to spend a little bit more money. So it's very easy to expand, and cloud providers typically provide redundancy for you, so you don't even know about that. You're copying your photos to the cloud, and if part of their cloud service fails, and when they return it, your photos will still be there because they had some disaster recovery and did not lose your photos. So some disadvantages is it's typically not free. It can be slow. I mean, a local drive is going to transfer files at 70 megabits per second or faster. The internet, depending on the cloud provider and your internet service provider, you'll be lucky to get 1 megabit per second, maybe 20 with a high speed, but a lot of times the cloud providers will throttle that. So it's slow. Disadvantages, it is not susceptible to natural disasters. So we could probably take that off that slide. So my process, step by step, is I import or copy my images from my memory card, and I do not format or delete the images from the card until I've at least copied them to my second drive. And in reality, I don't delete them from my card until I think I might be out of space on my photo shoot that I'm going out. And then I will have already probably copied 2 or 3 sessions off of my memory card before I do that. So my second drive, this is manual for me. but I wrote a script. I'm a computer geek, so I wrote a script that will copy my photos from my computer to a second drive and actually a third drive. So my second drive is actually 2 copies of my data. And then my last process here is I force my sync to the cloud. Now I use a service called Backblaze, which it has a client on my laptop, and if my external drives are connected to my laptop, Backblaze will make automatic copies of them. I can force it to make the copy if I want, but if I just leave my laptop on and it's connected to the internet, it will start copying images to the cloud for me. So that's my process, and that's my step-by-step process to help you not lose any images that you have taken, and you can rest easy regardless of what happens to your computer or your home. Your photos will be there once you recover from that disaster. If you learned anything or you like my video, please hit the like button below and the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.